So welcome back everyone. I figured in today's video I'd give everyone an update on my file server PC. As you can see, it is currently still a bit of a mess. I've had to rejigger a bunch of stuff around. I've had to get an X570 motherboard to support some PCIe 4.0 functions. And in addition to that, I figured out that apparently my ASUS card, which is the Hyper V2 I believe, is the actual name for it, Hyper M2 V2. And this card unfortunately doesn't have one of the features that I thought my motherboard actually needed to support, which basically means it doesn't have an onboard switch, a PLX switch, to allow my motherboard to see all four of the NVMe drives. Now, it wouldn't be that big of a deal, except that I thought that my motherboard supported something called bifurication of the ports, meaning it allows you to actually split them up into separate, basically kind of lanes. Now, in this particular PC, the full x16 port, the main second port on the motherboard, is only able to go 8x8, which means it is only able to see two of my four NVMe drives that are resting within this particular card. So what I've had to do in the meantime is I've ended up ordering another card that is made by IOCREST, and that actually has a PCIe switch built inside of it. Now I believe that what that means is that I won't be able to actually select a RAID array from the disks, which I would have been able to do with this particular ASUS card. And it was like 300 bucks for the IOCREST versus 55 for this guy. Now, the other part that I'm going to try, since I'm not sure if it's actually my motherboard or not, is I've ordered a 4.0 PCIe link, which will be going from my first M.2 slot on the motherboard and see if it's able to bifurcate that into 4x4x4x4, allowing me to essentially run all four of them at 4x speeds. But as we all know, of course, the speeds of PCIe 4.0 are a little bit faster, so it's more like it's going to be running at ×8 PCIe 3.0 speed, which should be more than plenty for these 1660, or I believe it's actually 660 P Intel drives that are in there. So I do have the other card in there right now. I'm going to be seeing if I'll be able to spin the server up. I still have a bunch of wiring to sort of clean up and a bunch of stuff that I need to take care of as far as liquid cooling for the CPU is concerned, and a couple of things that will need to get taken out eventually, but I'll get to that at some point. What I do want to see is what kind of speeds I'll be able to get on this guy using my 10 gigabit NIC that is living in there right now. I also have a 10 gig NIC in my PC, and I'm going to see if I can just do them straight through and see if the two PCs will actually be able to see each other at that point. If they aren't able to see each other for one reason or another, I'll be able to use my microtic switch and see if the machines are able to communicate that way, effectively allowing me to have a really fast link between these two machines and allowing me to dump my video files on this guy, but also use it as a Steam cache. So we'll see in the next video that I upload to this series. I'll be able to explore if I'm able to get my ASUS card up and running using the PCIe version 4 M.2 link, or if I'll end up still having to use the card that has the chip that allows bifurcation built into it instead. So hang out until that video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.